Hi, my name is Heather Havenwood, and I just got off an amazing coaching call with one of my clients. And I help small business owners, especially speakers, authors, and coaches and experts, really expand their brand through exposure, visibility, and profitability. And I just got off the phone call with one of my amazing clients, and we were having a conversation about sales and sales systems. And I just kind of want to share with you a book actually that I just shared with her. And this is the book. It's called Triggers. Now, there's a reason why I'm bringing this book up to her and to you. Triggers is a book by Joe Sugarman. Joe Sugarman actually is a dear friend of mine, also a business partner of mine. He's actually the forward of my book, Sexy Boss. Joe Sugarman at the bottom. He's a forward of my book. He's really helped me understand copywriting. He's one of the top copywriters, I think, in the world. And he has been truly an inspiration to me growing up in the information marketing space, in the direct response marketing space. Because I believe all entrepreneurs, the number one skill that all entrepreneurs should learn is copywriting. Da-da, right? A lot of people don't know that. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and the number one thing I ask them to do is go read a book called Copywriting by Joe Sugarman, Adweek. There's a ton of copywriting books out there, but I just actually love that book because it kind of breaks it down. But going back to triggers. So triggers. I'm going to read the subtitle because it's really critical. Triggers. 30 sales tools you can use to control the mind of your prospect to motivate, influence, and persuade. Now, this whole video is not about this specifically, the book, like I'm promoting the book. I'm explaining to you this book because two things. One, it's an amazing book about sales, truly sales, on how to persuade from stage, how to persuade in your copy when you're writing emails, how to persuade when you're doing social media marketing, how to persuade in front of your leadership team, how to persuade with your small business team, whatever it is, because we're always persuading down to when we're getting gas and talking to the guy. I mean, like, we're constantly in a conversation of persuading and influence in our relationships with our kids, with our parents, with our bosses, with our bosses' bosses, with our team underneath us. We're always in a conversation of sales and conversion and persuasion. So you can never learn enough, right? So triggers, here it is. Now here's the critical piece, because my one of my clients right now, she's in the middle of taking her work that she's done for 15 years in high-end media companies. I'm talking like LA, Warner Brothers, CNN, and everything in between. And she's taking her work that she's developed over 15 years and basically creating a book about it. And so we were talking about book structure and how to actually create a book. And I'm not going to go into a lot of that, but I want to share with you what I shared with her, and she paid me a lot of money for this. So I just want to give you like one little tip, right? I'm not going to give you everything, but here's the thing that I told her. I said, here's a 30 tools. So there's 30 chapters. Got it? 30 tools, 30 chapters. But here's what Joe did. It's brilliant. So you open up one of the chapters, okay? And you name off one of the titles, and I'll name it, Chapter 17, the National Hermits Convention. That's weird. What does that have to do with sales tools? Here's the key. One of these marketing principles of copywriting is curiosity. We as human beings want curiosity. So boom, he has me. We're all like, what's that? That's weird. So he goes into the book, and it's about a story. It's a story that he talks about. It's about 4 or 5 pages. And then at the very end of the chapter, he has trigger number 17, chapter 17, desire to belong. That's a trigger that we as human beings want. We want to belong. I mean, there's all kinds of sales tools and tactics that advertisers use, company use, because we as human beings want to belong. They use that, right? There's all kinds of ones. We can go into that. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show that instead of titling the book chapter Desire to Belong like boring, you wouldn't even buy the book, because the title is Desire to Belong. You now have all the triggers. You would never buy the book. That was my point to my client, is that when you're selling anything, even down to a book, you want to make sure everything has some kind of copywriting principle, down to even the chapter titles. I'll give you one of mine. Again, Sexy Boss is one of my books, and I actually had Joe help me on the table of contents of my book, because here is one of my chapters. It's called Time to Wake the F Up. Now, if you read that chapter, it's actually part of my personal story. I actually talk about it. And at the end of the chapter, I have Thoughts from a Sexy Boss. I did exactly what Joe did, which is basically you can read the chapter and then read the final thoughts at the end of the chapter and get the entire book. What am I sharing with you? I'm sharing with you a structure that works with books, with articles, with anything that you're creating out there. You want to make sure you're using triggers, persuasion, influence, and copywriting, which is basically the understanding how human beings buy. Because if anyone's ever talked to me, they know that it's called H to H. At the end of the day, we as human beings haven't changed that much. It's called H to H communication. Yes, we have now technology, but at the end of the day, why we buy, why we love, why we communicate, why we buy anything and fall in love and all those things, we haven't changed that much. That's why you can pick up the Bible at any time, like it or not, read a story and understand it. Because we as human beings haven't changed that much. All right, that's it. That's my lesson. I hope you enjoy. Please click below if you like this or don't like this. That's fine. Heather Havenwood, check me on the side. Bye.